Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today, as you can see from the thumbnail, we're gonna get started on assembling this 2006 YZ250 build that I've been working on for a long time. So I'm super excited to get everything ready to go. We have pretty much all the parts here. I'm just missing a few things. So definitely stay tuned to the end and see how far we're able to get today. But yeah, I'm super excited to get to work. So let's go ahead and get started. All right guys, so we are back inside here, ready to get building on the YZ250. I got the frame all secured here on the stand, ready to go, looking awesome. So I got it vapor blasted by a company called Nexus Blasting. If you haven't heard of vapor blasting, basically it makes the frame look brand new and awesome. This frame was powder coated before, so I had it sandblasted and then sent it off to them to get vapor blasted. I'll put a few videos up on the screen here, kind of what vapor blasting is. But yeah, they did the Swingarm and subframe as well, and those both came out much better than actually the brand new finish that it would have came with from the factory. So I'll have a link down below to them if you want to check them out. But the first thing I want to do here is just go ahead, start off pretty easy, and just put the engine into the frame. Alright guys, well here is the vapor blasted swing arm, and as you can see it looks amazing. Just areas like this is why vapor blasting is so handy, because cleaning something like this surface would be super tough without being able to vapor blast it. And then just other hard to reach areas that vapor blasting can get where you can't with a cleaning pad or something like that. But the first thing before I put this on here, Allball sent over a brand new set of swing arm bearings. So I'm going to go ahead, throw those in, and then we can toss on the swing arm. Alright guys, well I got the caps and seals out, and then these pieces here, and actually everything looks like it was just replaced and pretty much new. So I'm probably just gonna, just because these bearings have more life on them, there's no sense in replacing them. But what I will do is just take the new pieces out of the kit, like the caps and seals, and just get everything closed off with some new seals and greased up really good, and then save these bearings for a later time. Alright guys, we got the swing arm engine in here, and I think it's looking awesome so far. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are thinking about the bike so far. But the next thing I want to do is go ahead, throw on our triple clamps. So I already put a new bearing on the bottom here, but the next step is I just got to replace the bearing seats in the frame here, and then put some new bearings in up top as well. Alright guys, so I got the triple clamps all on here and they're looking awesome with the rest of the bike. I did add a aftermarket nut here from Tusk. Just this blue anodized look's really going to match with everything else on the bike and the other anodized stuff, like the Fat Head Racing cylinder head down here. But next up, I think it's time, before I torque this down, I'm just going to go ahead, put the forks in. So if you remember, I sent the suspension off to Steely Off-Road, and actually affiliated with them is a company called NV2 Suspension. So they did the suspension work on this bike, and here's the front forks that came back from them. So they basically valved these forks for my weight and my riding skills, so I'm super excited to try out the forks from them. This is a motocross bike though that I'm converting to an enduro bike, so I did want the suspension to be specially set up for enduro, and they do a great job with enduro suspension. So I definitely recommend checking them out. They can get a quote for you down in the description. I'll have a link to them. But really, suspension, honestly, if you're an amateur rider like I am, suspension is going to make the biggest difference for you, especially if you're converting an MX bike to an enduro bike. But overall, suspension is really going to make a big difference. So I'm super excited to kind of let you guys know how well the suspension works on the bike. And I'm going to go ahead, throw these on there, and then we can get to work on installing the front wheel. Okay, so the forks are all in here and good, but I realized I forgot to put this washer that goes under the upper triple clamp here. So I'm going to see if I can just pop this off and then throw this washer on without actually removing the forks. Okay, so the triple clamps are all torqued down, and same with the top nut here. Actually, things turn really smoothly right now. The new bearings feel really nice. Before, this was all glitchy and sandy, so this feels so much better. And honestly, it's just cool to see. It's starting to look like a bike now, so that's super exciting. Finally see things looking cool on here and just blending together nicely. But next up, we have the bars we're going to throw on here. So Mica Metals sent over some brand new bars. It's a 7/8 bar here, and then it goes to a fatter bar here, so you can actually holds up pretty well. If you're gonna tip the bike over, it's not gonna bend super easy. Obviously, it's got that cool look, blacked out with the Yamaha blue on here. So excited to run these from Mica. I'll have them linked down below with the other products. The only thing I'm debating though with these is so the clamps here. It's kind of like we have this color, and then we have like the Yamaha blue and the silver. This is kind of adding like another color to all this. So I think I'm just going to shine these up on the Prime MX wheel and just kind of let that silver flow up here. Should look really sick. So the bar clamps shined up really nice. Those Prime MX pads are the real deal. But I'm gonna go ahead, throw on these bars, and then I'll get to work on the electrical and some of the levers. So the bars, I have everything mocked up for where it's going to be right now. None of the positions on any of this is final. It's just kind of snugged in place just to see how everything's laying out. So it looks pretty sick right now. We got the Cerakoted master cylinder here, and then some of the Tusk, so the Tusk lever and then the Tusk cap here. And then on the clutch lever, we also have a Tusk lever. The reason why I didn't do a breakaway lever is because I have handguards I'm going to put on later. But for now, I think it's going to be fine if I have handguards. I don't really need a breakaway lever here. Everything's looking pretty good. These grips I am going to change out. So this is just mocked up here for now. But yeah, everything's looking good with the bars. I think I'm done working there. Actually, I have one more really cool thing for the bars I'm going to show you guys. So the last thing I'm going to be mounting up to the bars today is going to be this Trail Tech Vapor. This thing's pretty sweet. I've never actually ran one of these, but I've always wanted to. So it can tell me a whole bunch of different information when I'm out on the trails. This is what it'll look like when it's all lit up. But basically you have your miles per hour, your trip time, your odometer for your total miles, your RPM gauge, engine temperature gauge. So super handy for out on the trails. You want to track how far you're going, to get an idea for gas, how much gas you have left. And also just to see, you get an idea of your time. If you want to time a certain part of your ride, you can use it as a stopwatch. And then if you're out on like a long desert ride or something, it's always good to keep an eye on your engine temperature. So it's going to have that temp gauge as well. So super handy. I'm going to go ahead and get this hooked up. It's actually pretty simple to hook up in terms of being on. I think I'm just going to, since this is an MX bike, it doesn't have a super powerful stator to run this. So it's just going to run off watch batteries. But I've heard the watch batteries on this thing last like a year or so. So you don't have to change them out very often or anything like that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead, hook this up, and then some of the sensors, like the miles per hour sensor, is going to actually run off of the wheel, which I'm not actually going to hook up the wheel today just because I don't have the bearings. I needed to get a bearing kit for it, but I'm going to hook up whatever sensors I can right now, and then go from there. Okay, so got it mounted up here. I mean, this is tentatively where I'm going to put it, but I like where it's at. I think it's nice and centered here, so it looks pretty sweet. I'm really excited to try this thing out and just see how much it kind of helps me learn about the bike and learn about it while I'm riding it. But yeah, it looks sweet on there. So all of these sensors I can't actually hook up right now just because I don't have the necessary components on here to do that, and I don't want to. The only one I could actually do would be the spark plug for the RPM, but I don't want to mess with the wiring until I can just do it all at once and get everything organized. So I'm going to hold off on that for now, just leave it mounted here, and I think move on to do some of the linkage stuff down here. All right, so this is as far as we're going to get on the rear suspension. A big shout out to All Balls for getting us set up with new bearings on our linkage components. already feels super smooth on here, so super excited about that. Then next is blasting for getting the swing arm all cleaned up. But the next step, I'm probably just going to do some random things since I'm still waiting on the rear shock to come in. Should be in any moment, and then need the wheel bearings for the wheels to put those on, so it's kind of holding me up on the other stuff, but I think I'm just going to do some random things here and there. Alright guys, in the foot pegs, I'm going to be running our set of billet race foot pegs from Tusk. So the reason why I chose these was because of the price point. They weren't crazy expensive like a lot of foot pegs are, and they also have really nice grip and are quality made. So I'm going to go ahead and throw these on here. Alright guys, well that's going to be it for today's video. I really appreciate you guys watching to the end. The bike is looking awesome so far, but there's still a lot more work that needs to go into it. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see this bike come together, and also give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys next time.